Many of my coaching clients initially have trouble getting enough protein in, and they want meals that are easy to make and don't require much effort. In today's video, we will make 5 meals, including dessert, that even the laziest person on the planet can easily prepare. These meals have me losing 2 pounds per week and a daily protein intake totaling 230 grams. Let's get into it. I'm never hungry in the morning and I want to start working as soon as possible, but still get protein in. And there's nothing better to do that than a delicious breakfast sandwich. Now, you can do this several ways. Canadian bacon works great. Honey roasted turkey breast or whatever kind of deli meat that you prefer works great. I'm gonna use some of my leftover meatloaf from last week's recipe, which is absolutely delicious, and I never knew how good a meatloaf sandwich could be until I tried it. But first, I wanna get my buns going. And if you've ever bought, oh my God, if you've ever bought the $6 keto culture buns, you would know that you don't wanna waste these because they are like double the price of regular buns, but they only have 50 calories. Put them in the toaster on the bagel setting and let those heat up. So that's gonna be 2 minutes. Now, a breakfast sandwich wouldn't be a breakfast sandwich without an egg. So we'll get an egg going. Get a little spray. Oh no, I cracked the yolk. That's okay, still gonna be delicious. Now I got a little water so we get some steam going, and I'm gonna set a timer for exactly 2 minutes because it's kind of like clockwork with these over easy, sunny side up. I always get confused with the egg types. It takes about 2 minutes of clockwork and the egg is perfectly yolked up and ready, even though this one, since it's cracked, will be messed up. Still gonna be delicious though. Actually, let me put a little bit of salt on here real quick. Now we always want a little bit of cheese on a breakfast sandwich. So I got the Velveeta out and ready to go. And now literally I just wait a minute and we're almost ready to eat breakfast. It's literally been 2 minutes. I'm gonna get this on parchment paper. You'll see why in a second. All right, 2 minutes later. That is looking beautiful. I'm gonna give it about another 30 seconds just to make sure there's none of that nasty, snotty egg white on top. I'm just gonna flip it over just in case. I forgot what that's called too, where you flip it for like 10 seconds just to make sure the top is done. Beautiful. Would I rather have the yolk be perfectly runny and look aesthetic? Yes, but am I gonna let it ruin my morning? Absolutely not. Now, last thing I'm gonna do is get a piece of this meatloaf and heat it up real quick. And after about 90 seconds, this meatloaf is ready to eat. And we're gonna bring everything together by wrapping this up in parchment paper and throwing it in the microwave for about, I don't know, 15 seconds or so. And recently GNC had a great sale, so I got about 10 boxes of Quest chips. Absolutely love them for about $1.60 a bag and almost 20 grams of protein. I never thought a meatloaf sandwich could taste this good, and it's freaking amazing. All right, so you can see perfectly melty. Let's take a bite. The bun is nice and soft. The yolk is slightly cooked. Still delicious though, with the Velveeta and the melt in your mouth meatloaf. Pair that with a side of chips. It's almost like a brunch meal. But the macros for this meal, we have 486 calories, 21 grams of fat, 33 carb, a good amount coming from fiber, and 53 grams of protein, below 500 calories, over 50 grams of protein, all in 5 minutes. You can't beat it. And let's get to meal 2. To make sure I can have lazy meals all week long, I spend about 1 to 2 hours once per week making 1 to 2 meals or a meal and a snack so that I have meals ready to go that are easy to reheat all week long. This can be the chicken sandwich we're about to eat, and a cheesecake, This could be a deep dish pizza and my protein muffins, so on and so forth. I just get it all done at once, so I always have something ready to go. That being said, air fryer's reheating, and I have my 30-minute chicken parm sandwich meal prep ready to reheat. We'll throw that in the air fryer for 3 minutes, and while that's in the air fryer, we'll grab another one of our keto buns and throw that in the toaster. And I always make sure that I have marinara sauce in the fridge. It lasts multiple weeks, and you could use it on many things like you're gonna see today. But I have the marinara sauce ready to go. And the last thing I like to do is just shred some fresh Parmigiano Reggiano right on top. And this is so nice because literally the entire meal prep, from having the chicken in the package to getting it breaded to air frying all of them, is right about 30 minutes. And then it takes me 3 minutes per day to reheat the chicken parm sandwich. The buns are done. The chicken is reheated. And so since the chicken is hot, I'm gonna melt the cheese right on top here. And the last thing I gotta do, add some marinara sauce. And in literally 5 minutes, we have meal number 2 ready to go. Let's take a bite and see what we're working with here. Absolutely delicious. Now, the macros for this meal is 345 calories, 9 grams of fat, 35 grams of carbs, and 46 grams of protein. Again, many of those carbs are coming from fiber, so they aren't equated into the actual calories, but I will see you for meal 3. No matter if I'm feeling lazy or not, I'm always going to have a go-to easy meal where I either just pour something and drink it, or buy something and eat it. That's super easy, like the protein chips that I had for breakfast, a protein bar, or protein powder. The last few weeks, I have been having PE Science's frosted sugar cookie, and it's absolutely delicious. So for meal 3, we are going to have a double scoop protein shake. And it doesn't matter which one you have, but it just makes it easy because you get about 50 grams of protein for about 220 to 250 calories, 260 calories. And it took no effort. And really right after my workout, I'm not hungry. And I just got back from the gym, took a shower, we'll chug this down, and I will be good until dinner. I just mix it with water, so there's no need to watch me do this. So for this meal, we have 220 calories, 3 fat, 2 carb, and 48 protein. But we need to start getting meal 4 ready. To do that, I'm gonna bust out my phone. I'm gonna look up my cookbook, diet cheat codes, click on it. And what I love about it, it's right here, ready to go. And for tonight's dinner, we are going to make a sheet pan pizza. And you might wonder, how is this lazy? Well, I'll tell you. First, I have a stand mixer, and it doesn't get easier than this, but you don't need a stand mixer. You can make this in a bowl, or you can make it in a food processor, which in the description, I will put a link or 2 links to one video, the main video that this was made for, and it shows you how to do it in a food processor. And I will link another video where I make the dough in the bowl, and it's the same process, just use the ingredients from the cheese and pepperoni sheet pan pizza video that I link in there as well. But it would be stupid of me to have a stand mixer and not use it. So if you have a food processor or you're doing this with a bowl and a spoon, it's the same process. I'm just going to the ingredients, making it big, and we really only have 6 ingredients that we have to put in. Flour, vital wheat gluten, salt, and yeast, followed by some olive oil, and water. This is a very similar process that you would do in a food processor. And now I'm just gonna mix this for 10 minutes, and we'll have our dough for our sheet pan pizza. The great thing about the sheet pan pizza is this is going to make enough servings essentially for either a meal prep or for your entire family. I've had plenty of clients who feed this to their wife and their kids, and they cannot tell the difference between real pizza from an actual pizza place and this. It's literally one of the most perfect recipes, and it's only like 10 bucks for the whole sheet pan. I'm gonna let the stand mixer do its thing, and I will see you back once it's done. And after 10 minutes of doing absolutely nothing but sitting on the couch, our pizza dough is ready to hang out. Now I knew that I'm not eating for about another 3 hours, so I didn't mind doing this right now because now all I have to do is let this rise and then build the pizza and cook it. So you could do this on that one day that I was talking about when we ate the chicken parm sandwich, when you meal prep some stuff. Whether that be the pizza, the chicken parm sandwiches, the cheesecake, the protein muffins. I have over 140 recipes and there's plenty of recipes on YouTube that you can meal prep recipes for an hour or two and get it out of the way for the week. This might not seem like a lazy recipe to some people because you have to sit and wait, but sitting and waiting is literally the definition of being lazy. You're just sitting around, laying around, looking at your phone, watching TV. All you have to do is wait for this to rise. There's no work. I threw everything in a bowl, just like you would throw everything in a food processor or everything in a bowl with a spoon, mix it around, and then let it rise. So I'm just rounding this into a ball so it has a nice shape. And then right in the bowl, we put all the ingredients in. I'm gonna put a cover on it. You could use cling wrap if you want or whatever. That makes it simple, and I will come back to it in 2 hours and we will see what it's looking like. And we're gonna eat some pizza. It's gonna be so good. And about 2 hours later, we are back, and this is how we are looking. Absolutely beautiful. It's puffed up a lot. All we have to do is shape our dough. We'll grab a sheet pan, and if you only have half a sheet pan, you can make half the dough recipe and make it in a half sheet pan. This is really customizable. You're gonna get some olive oil on here so the dough is easy to spread. Like to make sure we get it all throughout and a little bit on the sides. So we'll deflate the dough a little bit. I'm just gonna let this hang. Since it was in a circle shape, I wanna get into more of like a rectangle. And so it's always nice to let gravity do the work for you so you don't have to do too much. You could tell by all the air bubbles in this thing that we're gonna have a nice, fluffy, airy dough. But with the Vital Wheat gluten, the dough likes to snap back a bit. So I keep just patting it down until we get it to spread enough. So as you can see, it's snapping back a bit. I could keep trying to stretch this for another 5 to 7 minutes, and maybe I'll get it to stay, but I would rather just give this 15 or 20 minutes, let the dough relax, and we'll come right back to it. I am gonna cover it first though. And 15 minutes later, and as you can see, now we can just stretch the dough, no problem. And in less than a minute, we have it fully stretched out. Now, if you wanted to, you can go ahead and top this and bake this in the oven, but I wanna get extra airy crust and just have the best possible taste and texture. So I'm gonna cover this and let it rise for 30 minutes. Again, I'm gonna go hang out and we'll eat. And after about 45 minutes, this is how we're looking. Oh my God, this is going to be incredible. Look how much rise we got. These air bubbles are gonna be insane. Now, since I made marinara sauce for that chicken parm a few days ago, I have marinara sauce ready to go for this pizza. And I always shred some cheese. Can't forget the turkey pepperoni that I already have too. But essentially, I have everything ready to go to where all I have to do is bust out my phone, go back to the ingredients, and make sure that I weigh out everything as I'm putting this on. During that like 30 to 45 minute waiting period to let it rise, if I didn't have the marinara sauce and cheese ready, I just would have done it then. I could have got it done during that time, but that's not really a lazy man's way. What's also good about this recipe is it's easily modifiable. Since I am on a cut and I'm having 5 meals today, I would rather sub in half fat-free cheese in this recipe and half full-fat cheese so I can eat an extra slice or two and still fit it into my calories. I'm also feeling some pepperoni, so I'm gonna put pepperoni on this entire pizza. And in just about 10 minutes of actual working time, we have a beautiful sheet pan pizza ready to go in the oven. So we will get this in and I will see you back when it's time to eat. I'm just so excited. This is my favorite part where it goes in, I'm just like, yes. Oh, boy. And after 20 minutes, we are looking absolutely gorgeous. Oh, baby. You could cut this into, I think it was 32 little slices, which you will see if you watch my video that I did for this recipe, but I like to cut it into 8 bigger slices since I'm just eating it myself. And this is usually about the serving size I'll use. Either this, a slice and a half, or 2 slices, depending how many calories I have on the day. And you know the Chicago boy loves the top a little bit well done, especially when we have all this cheese underneath. You could see underneath, this cheese isn't quote unquote too dark, and it's perfectly melted. So we're gonna get that nice flavor bomb from the crispy cheese on top, and then you're gonna get the nice white mozzarella underneath. So many pepperonis. I am so excited to eat this. This doesn't have as much browning on the bottom as I would like. I'm just gonna throw this right back on the pizza steel and let it brown. I put these on a wire rack so the bottom of the crust stays crisp. The last finishing touch I'm gonna go with, which you can never go wrong, always done since I was a kid, was add just a couple grams here of Parmesan. I'm probably gonna burn my tongue, but you know what? I need to see what we're working with here. The dough is so soft and airy. The sauce is perfect. The crust has the perfect crunch to it. And then you got the Parmesan on top. Honestly, for $10, you can't ask for much more. As for the calories in this meal, we have 663 calories, 18 grams of fat, 70 carb, and 56 grams of protein. I'm gonna eat my pizza, put away my leftovers, and you know we need to have dessert. With summer coming up, I have been testing new creamy recipes, but tonight I wanna show you a classic that is the most versatile recipe that you can have, and that would be vanilla. Now, we're not just gonna have vanilla ice cream, even though it is delicious on its own. This has been sitting in my freezer for about 3 months, and every recipe that I make for the creamy is a little bit different, whether I mix on the ice cream setting or the sorbet setting or the light ice cream setting. So I'm again going to go check my cookbook and go to the vanilla better base recipe and check which function I am spinning it on. Load into the creamy and hit the ice cream button. All right, so we're gonna start with the ice cream button, and then right when it's done, we go for a respin. So I'll see you in about 5 minutes. A couple of weeks ago, I went to Argentina, and this wonderful woman showed me alfajores. They're basically moon pies, but instead of being a moon pie with like marshmallow in the middle, this has dulce de leche, kind of similar to caramel, but dulce de leche is made with milk. It has dulce de leche in the middle, and it has like the 2 cookies, and then it's covered in chocolate. I am going to use this as a mix-in. You could use any mix-ins of your choice. What I also have here is extra dulce de leche straight from Argentina. And so I'm gonna put in some of that here as well, and then the rest of the alfajore, and take her for a mix-in setting. Oh my God, look at that. It looks absolutely perfect. I'm kind of feeling myself today. I wanted to stay in the 2,000 calorie range, but we're gonna go up just slightly, and we're gonna add a waffle cone. All right, so we're gonna get a scoop out of here. That looks perfect. And for a finishing touch, we're gonna spread some dulce de leche right on top. And I mean, look at this. Oh my God, so fire. The creamy doesn't even make it fair. For this creamy with the waffle cone, with everything, we have 400 calories, 9 fat, 93 carb. A bunch of them are coming from Swerve, which don't count as calories, and 27 grams of protein. So on the day, that puts us at 60 grams of fat, 233 carb, a bunch coming from Fiber and Swerve, which again aren't calories, 230 grams of protein, and 2,100 calories. You absolutely cannot beat it, and I'm in love. You can never have too many options, and I have another full day of eating here that is 190 grams of protein and shows you all different meals and different ways to utilize them to get in the protein at each meal all day, every day. And until next time, deuces.